heels on my
Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl LV here today with another Get Ready With Me, but this time J13 edition. Today is Founders Day. By the time I post this, it probably won't be Founders Day anymore, but shout out all my sorors, all of my devastating divas out there. 111 years of sisterhood, scholarship, public service, and social action. My line sisters and I are gonna go to a brunch today. You know, Founders Day looks different when you've graduated, but we're gonna do a cute little brunch here in Atlanta. We're going to this place called Weezy's, and I was like, while I get ready, I might as well do a little chit chat, get ready with me. I love doing these. I love having these moments to just like connect with you all. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I do have a couple of questions. I asked y'all on Instagram to just ask me a few questions that you would like to know. I have a few questions that are Greek related. Well, we'll see. We will see if I answer those. I have a couple of like non-Greek ones. I mean, this is a Founders Day Get Ready With Me, so I may answer some of those that I deem appropriate. I probably should have organized these questions more, but we just gonna get on here and vibe. So let's go ahead and get started. Very first question I got asked was, how has life been after becoming Greek? I have been, this is gonna be my I turned 3 this year, so I've been Greek for 3 years now. And to be honest, my life didn't really like change that much afterwards. I know this is like a debate online and social media, and I'm very much one of those people who definitely agree that like you should have a personality and like something going for you before you become Greek, because it can definitely become your personality. And luckily I was already a celebrity in my head, so becoming Greek did not really change too much for me. I just got some amazing sisters, just access to a really great network, and just some really great opportunities, and just opportunities to learn and grow for myself and for me, and like, you know, personal, business, relationship, all of that. So not that big of a difference. I'll just answer the like 2 more Greek related questions, and that's it. We ain't answering, we're not talking about that no more. This is a great question, and I'm willing to answer this question. What do you think of what are some of your thoughts on the AKA and Delta rivalry? This might be a hot take, but I don't feel like there is a rivalry, because you cannot compete where you don't compare. And I don't mean that as like no shade, or like as shade or like tea or whatever, but 2 different organizations, 2 different, you know, kinds of people, all of those things. I'm not saying one's better than the other. I just know which one was best for me, and that's it. So yeah, like my 2 best friends are AKAs, and I love them down so much. So I'm not gonna sit here and bash other women or compare myself to other women in order to make myself feel well or feel good about myself. I don't feel like I need to do that. That's that on that. And if you don't feel that way and you feel on a rah-rah, well, that's good for you, mamas. But I don't have no room to hold unnecessary like hate in my heart or distaste in my heart for something that really like doesn't matter that much to me. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. Last question. I'm not gonna answer any of those like what made you want to pledge, like, because quite frankly that's not the internet's business, for real. I will say, one of my questions that I got on here was, how do you feel about being a pro? So being a pro fight and basically having, you know, neos or little sisters. I love it. I love like being able to like invest and nurture and really like cultivate these relationships that I have. I think that all of my neos have something unique and wonderful to offer to the world, and I'm just happy to be a part of you know, that journey that they have through and in Delta. And yeah, I like being somebody's big sister. So okay, favorite and least favorite thing about your job. So for some context, I work in big tech. I am a business development manager basically means I kind of do like a little bit of everything, but I'm mostly focused on like building relationships with partners and, you know, negotiating contracts and all of that great thing that goes into like stakeholder relationship building, blah blah blah, boring corporate talk. I would say my favorite thing about my job, probably the benefits, of course. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I get really great benefits. The skills that I get to learn, it's not super technical, but I can make it technical. So maybe just like being able to have that autonomy and like flexibility to curate my work to what I want to do. Yes, I get told like, hey, this is project da 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 da, but like I feel like I have that autonomy and ownership over my career to be like, I don't like doing this kind of work, I would rather do something else. And like my manager being like, all right, like shit, let's do it. Least favorite part about work, I work mostly from home, which I do enjoy. Sometimes I like crave that social connection. I wish like, you know, more people on my team were in Atlanta, or like, you know, I could go into the office and like meet people my age and like hang out and stuff with them, but that doesn't really happen. So wish there was a little bit more community for me here. So that might not be like a complete like work related thing, but just in general, like that is something that I consider work wise. That would be like my least favorite thing. Any advice about moving out of your parents' house? So I might be the wrong person to ask this question, because as soon as I hit 18, child, and that check cleared for housing at school, I was like, I was out there. Like, mine might look a little bit different than, you know, the person who's asking this question. I ain't trying to put your business or anything out there, but I think for me, this advice would just making sure your rent is 30% of your monthly income. Don't get stuck in this trap of paying like a lot of money to live somewhere. Like, all you got is money for your crib, and that's it. You don't got money for nothing else. I'll also like slowly build what you want to get. If you want furniture or like certain decorations, like don't try to buy everything at once. Like, you know, get it while you can, and like as you can, and slowly like build all of that stuff up. Another thing I would definitely do is, if you're someone who's like graduating, or you know, you still get like birthday and Christmas presents, y'all start asking for that stuff like for birthday, for Christmas. Like, my graduation registry was straight stuff just for my apartment. Like, that's all I asked for, was for stuff. And I try to ask for stuff that's like essential, so I can like buy myself more of, I guess, like, you know, the fun stuff. I try to ask for things that were like a little more practical, that people wouldn't, who were looking at my registry, wouldn't be like, no, I know this damn girl ain't asking me to, you know, get her a fucking $175 juicer. But like, people were down to buy my bathroom set, like a set of rugs and a curtain, you know, all of that good stuff. So just be practical with what you ask for. I want to warm up my under eye just a little bit because it's a little too bright for me. I'm like getting away from like the bright under eye look. Y'all, I used to, oh no, I used to be so heavy with that damn, you know, bright under eye look. I know some girls who do that bright under eye and that shit looks so bomb, but I just don't really like it on myself. Like, I tried it for a little while and it just wasn't really like giving for me. So I did my hair before I got in the shower and stuff. That's why I have these rubber bands in, because I was hoping it would help the curls stay, because I don't have any pins and I don't have any rollers. I'll invest in that because I'm about to get a sew-in on Monday, y'all. I'm so excited. It's my first sew-in, so I'm like, yeah, I need to invest in some rollers so, you know, my hair is like wrapped the way it should be. Let me quit playing and answer some more of these questions so I don't miss them. I'm trying to switch career fields. Do you have any experience with that? I don't have a lot of experience switching career fields, like post-grad. I did come into A&T. That's where I attended North Carolina A&T State University. Aggie Pride. I came into A&T thinking that I was going to become a corporate attorney, a corporate lawyer, general counsel, if you will. And I did a fellowship at Duke Law School the summer after my freshman year of college. And while I really enjoyed my time at Duke, I was like, I do not want to pay all this money and go into debt to become a lawyer. I don't want to do all of that. So I was like, let's pivot into something else. So I ended up switching my major to supply chain from business pre-law, and I was like, I'm not like super in love with supply chain, but everybody was like, oh, it's a super like lucrative industry, like you'll be able to find a job, all that other stuff. My aunt was actually the one who told me to do it, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do it, whatever. And then I got an internship at AWS, Amazon Web Services, and I was like, okay, tech, period. I like this, I like the pay, and I like being in this industry. So not really career field advice like per se, or experience per se, but if you are somebody who's considering like, I want to make a pivot, just say do it. Like, you know, don't like quit your job or whatever, but like definitely start small and like building the blocks and stuff that you need in order to get into that career field that you're looking for. If you need something where you need more like technical certifications, then start doing your research on that. If you need to be good at, you know, PR and communications, then take some courses in that, but take the opportunity to like really like study and, you know, get into what you're looking to do. What advice would you give to someone in the process of revamping themselves? I definitely answered this question on my Instagram story, but I want to go more in depth on here. So when it comes to revamping yourself, one of the best things you can do is take some time to yourself, to be with yourself, to understand yourself, to get to know yourself better. Like, spend some time in isolation. I'm not saying like ghost everybody, but just spend some intentional time in isolation and reflect truly on what you want and what you want to see your life being like. Because if you're constantly like looking at other people and making comparisons, it can be really difficult for you to say definitively that this is what I want because I want it, versus this is what I want because other people have it. When should a boyfriend and girlfriend move in together, and do you have a boyfriend? I feel this is such a hot question. Like, ooh, I feel like I might get canceled. Honestly, I feel like you should move in with that person when you feel like your relationship is mature enough to like handle that. Because living with somebody and being with them in a relationship, or like playing house with them, is a lot, you know, it's a lot different. It's a lot different. Yes, I have a boyfriend. We do not live together. We're actually long distance. So I have no experience, you know, living with a significant other. However, if I were to, you know, hypothetically move in with my boyfriend and stuff, I would want to do it when we both feel like we're in a mature space and it makes sense for us both career-wise. We're gonna go back in with a little bit of concealer right here, and then we're going to bake and fill in my brows and then do a little bit of eye makeup. Nothing too crazy on the eyes. I want to be done in the next, like, it's almost 2 o'clock now, and I think our reservations are at 3, so I want to be done in like the next like 30 minutes so I'm not late. Do you recommend getting a pet, and how much should you have saved up, and what does your apartment say? Child, I'm gonna be honest, I love my son. I love him so much. Was I ready to have a dog when I got him? No. Pets are a lot of responsibility, even if you've had pets before. Like, I've had dogs before, but just being like financially responsible and just knowing like, if you don't feed that nigga, he don't eat. In those first few months when you have a puppy, like, oh my gosh, that shit is it's so stressful, y'all. Like, I'm not even gonna sit here and like front to y'all like it's not. It was very stressful. I would save up as much as you possibly can. You want to save, you know, the cost of the dog is one, and then also you want to consider like all of his shots and like pet insurance, and then buying all the supplies. And food is expensive. If you have like a little dog like me, and even when you have a puppy, like, paying for like wet food and stuff, because little Boosie, he be eating wet food. I'm trying to transition him now that he's like 1 and like all his baby teeth and stuff have fell out. But he's like a tiny, well, he's not tiny no more, but you know, he's a small dog, so I mostly did like wet food with him, and he's a picky eater, so yeah. And then just like, y'all, going to the groomers is so expensive. Like, going to the groomers could easily cost you like $60 to $70. So just be, you know, just be prepared for that. See if your job offers like any support for like pet adoption or anything like that. And if you live with somebody, like if you live with your partner or whatever else, like I definitely think that's a really good conversation to have with them before you get a dog. And then also consider your schedule and like what you have to do, because I mostly work from home, so like I had the time to, you know, invest in a pet and like training him and stuff. But if you're gone most of the time, like don't have that baby sitting at the house by himself all the time, you know, especially as a young puppy. It's gonna be hard to like even do that for real. Another question I got is, how do you separate your home life from your work life if you work from home? If you have the ability to have a separate office space, and I mean in the sense like you don't have to have your office in the same room that you sleep in, I think that's like one of the best things that you can start off with doing work-life balance wise. Another thing is being disciplined with yourself and your time. Tell myself like 6:30 I'm logging off. Like, I don't care what I have to do, I don't care like who's reaching out to me, all of that other stuff. Like, and mind you, most of my team works on the West Coast. That's just one of the I guess downsides of working in tech, is that time difference. But like your mental health is really important, and you're not going to be a good employee if you don't take care of yourself. So my biggest tip is like holding yourself accountable to like, this is when my hours are going to end and this is when my hours are going to start, because it can be really easy to be lazy and be like, I'm not going to roll out of bed until 5 minutes before my meeting and stuff. Like, I don't like to do that. I like to get up, get my day started, you know, have some intentional me time before I gotta log on. And I just think doing that is important. Okay, how was your transition to your life in Atlanta? So I love this question. I'm a small town girl. I'm originally from North Carolina, and I'm from a pretty like small city. Not like a, you know, not like one of those like one stoplight towns, even though y'all, shit, if y'all know me, y'all know I got peoples that live out there. You know, growing up in a pretty small town, little small city, even going to Greensboro for school, I was just in such awe of how tall the buildings were downtown. So if that gives you any insight into what kind of life I had beforehand. When I came to Atlanta, I was starstruck. I was like, the very first time I came to Atlanta when I was like 18 or something, I came for school. I was like, I'm gonna live here, like this is the Black Mecca. But I had never been to Peachey County, Maryland before, so, you know, I understand now. But at the time, I was like, yes. So even being down here, it takes some time for you to really, like, I won't say fall out of love with the city, but to not have those rose-colored glasses on. I was so, like, pro-Atlanta when I first moved down here. I was just like, this place is amazing. It's great. And, like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy my time here. But I can definitely see and understand and recognize, you know, those points about being in Atlanta that's not super great. I don't like the parking here. I don't like how expensive it is. I don't like how everybody is a celebrity and nobody dances in the section, and the sections are fucking $1 million, and, you know, everybody's trying to scam you. You have to make sure you're in the right spaces and that you are not green and you like are able to navigate and discern certain shit, because some people will really try to take advantage of you here. Y'all, these people down here are not looking out for you. So that might also just not just be, you know, transition into Atlanta, like from a city perspective, but also from, you know, college to real life perspective. Someone asked me about what's your main goal as far as your platform. YouTube wise, I really want to use this as a great like creative outlet, one for myself, but also just to share content that is relatable, that is real, that is authentic. Whenever I film videos and stuff and I post stuff and like my friends or like certain people like reach out to me on social media, I get really excited about it, because I'm like, yes, like you are my ideal audience. Like when I create content, I'm creating it for you. So that's kind of the platform I want to have. I want people to be able to come on my channel and like know like this is a space for you. It's curated for you, it's supporting you, it loves you, it wants to pour into you, all of those great things. I want to be able to share information to help people grow, to help people learn about themselves. And honestly, my biggest thing is like I have this platform and this space for all the girls, and girls as in non-binary, that's not gender assigned or anything, but all the girls who have been like high achievers their entire life, that have like done all that they can do, doing the most, or people who want to do the most or wants to, you know, be like that person. And let's say you are that person, once you reach your goal, your biggest goal, like start thinking about what's next and just kind of repairing and rebuilding that relationship that you have with yourself. That is like one of the biggest things I want to do on this channel. So if you're someone who's like that and you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, this is a good question. I love questions like these. Someone asked me, how do you stay motivated to be productive and combat laziness? My biggest thing is having a routine. I know like the YouTube girlies be preaching routines all the time, but when I tell y'all like having a routine really does like help, and it is to your benefit. Especially if it's something that's like natural and you like have it stacked and everything, like that can be so beneficial to you. Being able to know the next step and kind of just go on autopilot when you don't feel like doing something, when you don't feel like getting out of bed, but it's just a force of habit. Like when I get out of bed now, even when I don't feel like getting out of bed, like automatically I'm making my bed. And I feel like establishing a routine with 3 simple things that you want to do will help combat that laziness, that productiveness. I also like to set the vibe. Like I'm not in school anymore, but when I start working and I got like a project or something I need to work on and like study for or whatever, I be setting a vibe. I be turning myself into an academic weapon, y'all. I be glasses on, lo-fi, study, Pomodoro technique in the background, like oil diffuser going on, cup of coffee. Like I really try to set the vibe to get me in that mindset. I love watching like motivational content and like listening to motivational podcasts. So give yourself some grace. Like you're not gonna be productive every single day. Some days you're gonna have low days, some days you're gonna have high days, and it's okay to have a low day and just be like, look, I can't do shit today, or I can only manage to do 1 or 2 things, and be okay that you could only manage to do 1 or 2 things. Okay, I've been seeing all the girlies on TikTok, like all the MUAs on TikTok, like using lip gloss for the eyelid shade. So I'm gonna try that today. And I feel like I've done this before. I probably did this like in high school or something, but we bringing it back. Another good question I got was, how'd you get a career where you work from home but have such great responsibility? I was very lucky and blessed to intern for this company prior to me getting this full-time role. And I think just having that internship experience and the fact that it was COVID, I feel like COVID really played a strong part in like me like mostly like working from home and stuff now, because COVID really proved that you could do your job and you could do it well and do it at home. So I feel like it was a combination of having an internship especially like during COVID, Just having that experience in that time as an intern really like proved that I would do good in the role. Yeah, okay, so let's brush this off. And I'm gonna do one more question. Where do you see your career going? To be completely honest with y'all, I have no idea what I'm doing. I know I want to go to grad school. Career-wise, what I want to do, y'all, I just want to be great. I want to do something that makes me feel fulfilled and happy, and I'm not really sure what that is yet. I don't know if I want to be like the vice president of a company, if I want to be a tattoo shop owner and barista, if I want to be a full-time content creator, if I just want to be a stay-at-home girlfriend. I'm not really sure what I want to do. I am still growing up. I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. So we just out here vibing, and that's kind of scary for me, and I'm trying to be okay with it because I've always been the girl who knew exactly what she was gonna do, when she was gonna do it, had my whole life planned out, and then I got to like my senior year of college, really like after I graduated, and I was just like, it's just been straight vibes. Alright, I'm gonna come back with my hair and everything down and show y'all. Alright, I felt like I would be doing y'all a disservice if I didn't show y'all the final look. This is my dress. I dyed it last night. It's this pretty lavender color. And then I have my pin, my little Delta charm bracelet, and some pearls and stuff. And I'm gonna throw on some heels and a little bag, and we're good to go. All right, back to you, Lena. Okay, y'all. This is the final look, makeup and hair wise. I really hope that you all enjoyed this video, enjoyed this quick little Q&A, gave you a little insight into my adorable, incredibly intelligent, smart little brain of mine. If you like this video, please, please, please make sure you subscribe so you can keep receiving the content that you need to be receiving. Like this video and leave a comment down below. All right, y'all, I'll see you in my next video. Bye. It would be no